Welcome to Sightseeing Japan, the podcast where we explore the land of street food. I'm Paul Bresson.
And I'm Jason Nealing. What's up, Paul? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good as well.
So you finished Dandadan?
I did. It was good. Right now I'm actually watching ReZero. I mentioned that because I know that I told you that already because you said that you hated it.
Yeah, I guess I kind of said that. I definitely made me uncomfortable and I didn't like it.
Just because the main character kept dying?
Yeah, like gruesomely. It wasn't fun.
It doesn't continue that way. And I don't know. I'll just suggest maybe you give it another chance because I've been enjoying it. I'm maybe like 6-7 episodes in. But they've doubled up the episodes. I don't know if you realize that. Like on Crunchyroll, all the episodes for the first season, there are 12 episodes, but they're double length because the original first season was 24. So they just combined them into...
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Okay, that's very interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
But I did just watch, like the last episode I watched is like an hour long, but it felt like a single episode. Like it was all about the same thing.
Sure.
It would be, if there were a split in the middle, it would have to be like a to be continued sort of thing. So
interesting. Like a modern streaming show where one's an hour 10 and one's 45 minutes and they all kind of just tell the story.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
ReZero, what it reminded me of is, and this is a little harsh because it's fictional, but I remember like hanging out with a buddy once and he kept trying to show me like war videos from the Middle East.
What?
He's like, watch this idiot get shot or blown up. And I was like, dude, I don't want to see that. Why are you showing me this? But there's apparently a big following of that sort of thing online. A lot of people that like looking at that.
I just had a flashback to high school when I went to a guy's house. Like I'd never hung out with him before. This is like the only time I ever went to his house. And we just sat down at his family computer and he started showing me videos of people dying. And I'm like, why am I here? What are we doing? I don't like this.
We're just becoming friends. And this is the first thing you show me,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, should we stop talking about anime so much in the intros? We don't want to turn off. It's not an anime podcast. That's not what we're doing here.
True, but we like anime and people like anime.
Yeah. Well, should we get to the main topic?
Yeah, we should.
We're talking about the city of Fukuoka.
Excuse me?
Did you ever see the movie Lost in Translation?
Yeah? Did someone say it that way?
Yeah, Anna Faris's character, I'm pretty sure. She's like an actress, and she says that she's going to do this media event in Fukuoka.
I could see someone reading it that way if they had no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to talk about the pronunciation a little bit because it ties in with something that I find very interesting about the Japanese language.
Okay, go for it.
So most English speakers might say Fukuoka or Fukuoka, depending on where you put the emphasis, right, Paul? How are you going to say it?
I've always said Fukuoka.
Fukuoka.
Yeah.
Okay. In Japanese, it's interesting because it sounds more like Fukuoka. And you'll notice, like, I'm not saying fu at the beginning. That syllable in Japanese, it's not really an F sound like it is in English. It almost sounds a little more like you're just kind of blowing out air, like hu, hu. Does that make sense?
Yeah. A lot of these, when they get translated to another language, like, it's not really an F, but it's not really an H,
But it's like that's the closest approximation we have in English.
So you just pick a letter.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's more like, it's like a hu almost, more than a fu in Japanese. But the other part of that is, let me say that again, Fukuoka, I'm not voicing that first syllable. You know what I mean when I say that, Paul?
You're just blowing air, but you're not really vibrating behind it? I don't know.
It's called a voiceless vowel.
Okay.
So like you're making sound, but your vocal cords aren't vibrating. So there's no like kind of sound behind it.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time in Japanese. Mostly with the vowels U and I, or like U and I. So Fukuoka instead of Fukuoka, and shite, right? Instead of shite, it's shite. You don't voice the I in there.
Yeah.
Same thing actually with des.
Yeah.
Des is like it is. It's a very common ending to a sentence. And if you see it written in Romaji, like in English letters, you would see DESU. So you might think it's pronounced desu.
Yes.
I see a lot of people reading their little guidebooks, and it's like, oh, kore wa ikura desu ka, or something, you know?
Yep. I was there in my first week or two of Japanese class in high school.
Yeah.
You know.
But that's almost always, you just don't pronounce the U at the end. It's just des instead of desu.
Yeah.
But you might also hear desu sometimes. It's actually more common for women to pronounce unvoiced vowels in Japanese. There's not like a hard and fast rule to this stuff. But another thing I hear a lot is like...
Can I quote you on that? Can we freeze that for every time in the future you tell me I'm doing English wrong? Can we just keep that? There's no hard and fast rule on language. Can we just agree on that?
I'm not a prescriptivist, Paul. I know that languages evolve over time and nothing, you can't just say this is the right way and everything else is wrong. I know that.
Then why do you say that to me?
Because I just like making fun of you.
Fair enough.
But another thing I hear a lot is, the formal thank you is arigatou gozaimasu, right?
Yep.
And it's the same situation. It's got the SU at the end. So I hear a lot of people, again, reading it out of, a phrase book or something. It's like, arigatou gozaimasu. And it's almost funny how like these unvoiced vowels, sometimes non-Japanese speakers just automatically like put all the emphasis on that syllable.
Yeah.
When it's the exact opposite in Japanese.
Right. If I didn't know that word, it'd be desu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking through like a phrase book and you're trying to get a sense of, what are some useful phrases to use in Japan, it's so important to pay attention to the pronunciation too. Because some of them will actually write it out in a way that makes it really easy to pronounce in a way that Japanese people will understand. But if there's not a pronunciation guide, then you end up saying stuff like gozaimasu, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
So anyway, just thought that was interesting. I like the unvoiced vowel stuff. Is kind of fun to listen for.
That is. It reminded me of like a YouTube reaction video with a vocal coach. I've watched a few of those where they like watch a music video and they like pause and like explain how they're making that sound and stuff. It's kind of interesting.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Like there are people that are vocal coaches that just do reactions on YouTube and they watch a singer sing.
Oh,
and they pause the video and explain the techniques that they're using.
I really like that stuff too. I thought you were talking about, I've seen these other videos where it's like the content creator is like a non-native English speaker, and then they watch videos of a pronunciation coach saying like, this is how you make this sound natural in American English, So then you hear this person with like just a really thick Indian accent or something, and then they learn how to pronounce things just like a Native American, and it's like, wow, it's kind of cool to see like the difference between how something is written and the way it's actually pronounced. And like we as native English speakers don't even think about it, it's just ingrained in us. And it's the same with Japanese too. If you were to talk to a Japanese person about these unvoiced vowels, they might have no idea what you're talking about because it's just so natural to them. They don't even think about it.
Oh, totally. If people started asking me complex questions about English conjugation, like I got no clue, dude. I just talk.
Yeah. Oh man, not to go on for too long about this, but I just remembered like in elementary school and we're going over grammar, and it's like, do you say this or do you say this? And everybody's like, you say this one. And then the teacher's like, why? And everybody's like, well, because it just sounds right.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so today we're talking about the city of Fukuoka, but we're going to say it like Americans. We're just going to say Fukuoka, right?
I think I'm going to go with Fukuoka.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be somewhere in there.
I'd struggle with consistency trying to say it the proper way.
Yeah.
Well, Fukuoka is the largest city in Kyushu, which is the southernmost of Japan's 4 main islands.
It's also the biggest city west of Kansai.
Yes. I forget sometimes that Kyushu is further west than I would think.
It's also the capital city of Fukuoka. Of Fukuoka. Now I'm all thinking too hard about how I'm pronouncing it. It's the capital city of Fukuoka Prefecture
Yeah.
and the 6th largest city in Japan, the whole country. Well, this is where I have the etymology stuff, Paul. Do you know what Fukuoka means?
2 words combined, right? Fuku, meaning good fortune, and Oka, meaning hill.
Yep.
So good fortune hill?
Lucky Hill, something like that. Do you know how I got that name?
No.
It was named this in 1600. Was that later than you expected?
Yeah.
It was named by the daimyo at the time, Kuroda Nagamasa, who will come up in the history section, I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But Lucky Hill, Fukuoka isn't even a hill.
Seems like an odd name then.
It does.
Was it a hill at one point?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
But that guy, the daimyo that named it that in 1600, he named it after the Fukuoka district of Bizen province, which is where his clan was originally from.
Okay.
So I guess he just got homesick and he's like, I'm just going to name this place my home, you know, or name it after where he came from. The city has a population of just over 1.5 million, which is more than Kyoto.
Yeah, past Kyoto not too long ago.
Also, just a little more than Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
So as we mentioned, the island of Kyushu is in the west of Japan, and it's pretty far south, so it's got a humid subtropical climate, a lot warmer than places like Tokyo. It's hot and humid in the summer, almost never gets snow in the winter. It's also located on Hakata Bay and has been a commercial center for centuries. Paul, it's also the closest part of Japan's main islands to the Asian mainland.
Yeah, and that's defined a lot of its history, hasn't it?
You could almost swim to Korea from Fukuoka.
I mean, I couldn't.
No, me either. But a person could.
A person maybe could.
And especially if you stop to rest at Tsushima on the way.
That's about halfway between, isn't it?
Yep. So yeah, it's like 100 miles. If you were to swim nonstop from Fukuoka to Korea, about 100 miles, which is tough, but not impossible. I looked it up. I confirmed that humans have done that before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to the history of Fukuoka, Jason.
Okay. I saw it's theorized that people from mainland Asia started immigrating to Kyushu as far back as the Paleolithic era, around 30,000 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time, man.
It is. In the Jomon period, around 2,500 years ago, people lived in the Fukuoka area in villages made up of pit dwellings. And there's actually an archaeological site, the Itazuke site, where you can still see the remains of one of those settlements and see recreations of these pit dwellings. They have a few other Jomon period sites around there too. Isn't that cool?
That is cool. The Fukuoka area was also important during the Yayoi period because it's believed to be one of the first places that the settlers arrived bringing their rice farming technology and sedentary way of life to Japan.
Yeah, this might be where that transition from hunter-gatherer to a more agricultural lifestyle began. This period also saw the first metal tools in Japan. There's another archaeological site, the Yoshitake Takagi ruins, that has bronze artifacts from that time period. They also have the oldest royal tomb in Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, so you might think like way back when everything was happening around the Nara area, right? But there was a lot going on in Kyushu.
Yeah, Kyushu was the competing power center versus the Nara area before total consolidation happened.
That's right. By the 1st century, there was a kingdom in the Fukuoka plain known as Nakoku. So it was an administrative center going way back.
Yeah, I didn't see a ton of hard evidence, but it seemed to be believed that it's been an important trading port for a long time, just because it's got the bay there and it's so close to Korea and mainland Asia that just makes sense that people would have been coming and going through that area for as long as people were coming and going from Asia to Japan.
Yeah, so it makes sense that that part of Kyushu would have been like the most important part of the island, right?
Yeah.
So that's why in the Yamato period around the 600s, that area was an administrative capital for the whole island of Kyushu, and a regional government known as the Dazaifu was established. A town grew up around the headquarters of that government, and that's where the modern city of Dazaifu came from, which is just like 9 miles or 15 kilometers southeast from Fukuoka. And that's how that city got its name, of course, too. In the Heian and Kamakura periods, there was a lot of economic and cultural exchange with China, again, because it's so close to the Asian mainland, right? And there were several famous monks who went to China to study Buddhism and then came back and established temples, and a bunch of those temples can still be visited today. This is also the period where the city's most famous festival may have started, the Hakata Gion Yamakasa, which we'll talk about a little more later. Paul, also, I wanted to say I'm very proud that I corrected a mistake on Wikipedia for the first time. I made my first Wikipedia edit.
Yeah.
Because someone misspelled the name of that festival.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like a real expert now, you know? If I'm editing Wikipedia, I must know some things.
Yeah, everyone on Wikipedia is an expert.
Yeah, that's how it works. Pretty sure that's how you get the official title of expert.
Yep.
Yeah, so this festival, it started because during the plague, the monk, Eni, had people carry him around town on this platform while he prayed and threw holy water around. And supposedly that got rid of the plague. It worked. And so they made this festival to commemorate that. That same monk is also known for having brought udon noodles to Japan, actually.
Wow.
Isn't that a fun fact?
That's awesome. Cured a plague and fed the masses. Was he like a saint? Or he's a bodhisattva now, maybe?
I don't know. One of the most famous monks, though, in Japan.
Yeah.
Next to Kobo Daishi. He'll come up a little later,
Yeah.
but I definitely have heard of Eni before.
Yeah, same. Fukuoka was also a target of the Mongol invasions of the 13th century. So the first invasion launched from Korea, which was dominated by the Mongols at the time, in 1274. And I don't know how deep you went into this, Jason. It goes so deep, I didn't want to get too broad into this, but it sounded like they landed in a number of places and different battles were fought, but one of them was Hakata Bay, which is right where Fukuoka is now.
They also notably landed on the islands of Tsushima and Iki, which was the subject of a recent very famous video game.
Yes.
That I have to mention every time that one of those islands comes up.
Can't miss an opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are, like I said, right off the coast of Fukuoka, and the Mongols were in Korea. You know, it makes sense. That's kind of the perfect area for them to try to get into Japan.
Yep.
After the first failed invasion, the Japanese actually built a 12-mile or 20-kilometer long wall along Hakata Bay, which I had never heard about. That's pretty cool.
I hadn't either, yeah.
But when the Mongols invaded again in 1281, they did manage to get past that wall and made it all the way to Dazaifu, which I mentioned before, 9 miles or 15 kilometers southeast from Fukuoka.
I was reading about some of those battles, and it was like, there were a couple of them where it was like 80 samurai went to fight this 5,000 strong Mongol army to try to stop them. You know, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of a theme in that video game, you know, is that the Mongols just outnumbered them massively, and they had to find other ways to resist. Another thing I thought was really cool is that wall that the Mongols got past, there are pieces of it that you can still see. You can still go visit that wall.
Yeah, they dug it up at some point.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I guess, did we even mention that the Mongols failed that first invasion?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we have to mention that they failed both?
Yeah, they did. They failed both of them due to typhoons, I guess. Weather. The greatest warrior of all.
The divine wind.
Yeah, the kamikaze. In 1600, that guy I mentioned earlier, Kuroda Nagamasa, became the first daimyo of the Fukuoka domain after he helped win the Battle of Sekigahara. That's the battle that basically made Tokugawa Ieyasu the new shogun.
That's how I've always thought about that battle. And it is the case, but more and more I'm starting to learn is that battle really was the final reshuffling of all the daimyos and all the clans, because so many people that opposed Ieyasu lost their domains, and so many of the people that supported him got new domains. Everybody kind of got reshuffled around, And the board was kind of set then for the Edo period.
Wasn't that kind of how it worked with every shogunate? If a new shogun takes power, he's going to put all of his friends in powerful positions and take away all of the assets of the people who had opposed him, right?
Yes, to varying degrees, but I think Sekigahara stands out in my mind because it was big army A versus big army B. Everyone had picked a side. No one was really in the middle anymore, and one lost and one won. It was very clear cut. Not every change of power goes exactly like that.
Sure. And not every shogunate ended up establishing such a long period of peace and prosperity, right?
True.
But yeah, so Kuroda Nagamasa helped win the battle at Sekigahara, became the daimyo in 1600, and he named Fukuoka, as I mentioned earlier. He also started building Fukuoka Castle, which is unfortunately not there anymore. It's just ruins. I mean, you can still visit the grounds, and it's kind of cool. We'll talk about it, but there's not a big...
Used to be the largest castle in Kyushu.
Yeah. There's no big, awesome-looking keep or anything anymore, though.
Yeah.
So prior to the year 1889, there were actually two twin cities in what is now Fukuoka. The port area and merchant district were the city of Hakata. You've heard us say that, Hakata Bay. And then the samurai area just west of that was Fukuoka. But in 1889, the cities merged and the modern city of Fukuoka was established. But you'll still see that Hakata name all over the place, and not just because of Hakata Bay. There's still a Hakata train station. You can get Hakata Ramen. That's a place that you'll see that name a lot.
It's a district of the city.
Yeah.
And Hakata Station is the main station in Fukuoka. That's where the Shinkansen stops.
Right. And that the old Fukuoka is now known as the Tenjin area, which you'll also see if you visit.
The city grew rapidly in the Meiji period, partly due to new colleges and universities springing up around the town. And industrialization, of course.
Yeah, the population really grew fast. In 1887, the population of the city was about 50,000. By 1945, it was 250,000.
Wow.
And these days, it's, I already said in the intro, didn't I? It's about 1.5 million.
It's crazy how fast cities can grow.
Yep. In World War II, Fukuoka was an important base for the Japanese military, of course, again, due to its proximity to the Asian mainland.
Yeah, I know a lot about history in World War II, and, probably being an American, I still think of, America versus Japan in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was, learning about the proximity to Korea and China. It's like, oh, right, Japan was occupying and fighting everybody. It was far from just U.S. versus Japan. They were fighting in Korea and China long, long before anyone else got involved.
Mm-hmm.
It was also home to the largest POW camp in Japan in World War II.
Didn't know that. It was firebombed on June 19th, 1945, which destroyed about a fifth of the urban area.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Devastation.
But after the war, the city recovered and grew. In 1949, the Fukuoka Stock Exchange was established. In 1957, the Grand Sumo started there, which I attended in 2019. It was very cool, and you should go.
Oh, you're part of the tradition. That's so cool.
In 1975, the city was connected to Tokyo by the Sanyo Shinkansen.
That one surprised me. That's so long ago.
Some older people are going to get mad at you for saying that.
I mean, it's true though. But I was thinking, didn't the first Shinkansen open up in what was it, for the '64 Olympics?
I guess.
And within 10 years, they were all the way down to Fukuoka. That's really cool. I wouldn't have imagined it was that quick.
I don't know. This is a major hub on one of the main islands. It seems like it would make sense to connect that to Tokyo.
For 10 years, they've been building the Sapporo one, and it's not open yet.
Well, Fukuoka was, a Japanese city long before Sapporo was.
True. It's definitely more densely populated in that area.
Not long after the Shinkansen, a local railway popped up. Maybe that's kind of surprising that the Shinkansen got to Fukuoka before they even had their own local railway.
Well, I saw in 1981 their first subway began operating. I believe they had some sort of streetcar or trolley system
Yeah,
before
it was
that.
an above ground thing.
Yeah.
Last thing I have for the history section here is that in 1994, Fukuoka became a sister city with
Oh, I saw this. And I'm blanking.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. That's right. I've never been to Atlanta. I want to go to Atlanta.
I've been in the airport there.
Sure.
That was a major hub.
Busy airport, yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't it the busiest airport in the world for a while?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Atlanta, known everywhere for its airport.
Yeah.
Well, you ready to tour the city, Jason?
You know I am.
All right.
As you mentioned a little earlier, the central train station in Fukuoka is not Fukuoka Station, as you might assume. It's actually Hakata Station, named after that historical city before it became a part of Fukuoka. And also, as you said, that's where the Shinkansen stops. That's probably where you're going to be if you're going to Fukuoka. So let's start there for our little tour.
Makes sense.
If we head northwest from the station down a major road there, or we could take a train one stop to Gion Station, we'll find ourselves at Tochoji Temple.
Tochoji was founded by the monk Kukai in 806.
Also known as Kobo Daishi, that super famous guy. I swear, man,
Knew he was going to come back up.
Sometimes it feels like this guy founded half of the temples in Japan. It's crazy.
Yeah, he really went everywhere.
Yeah. Did you say it was Shingon Buddhist?
I
this
did not.
Temple? It is. That's the school that Kobo Daishi belonged to. This is also one of the first temples he set up after returning from his studies in China. And it's the head temple of Shingon Buddhism in Kyushu.
It's got a pretty nice 5-story pagoda there.
It also has a Daibutsu, a great Buddha.
Yeah.
The third largest in the whole country. The
second largest wooden, I think, or seated wooden.
What?
Second largest seated wooden Buddha
it's sitting
statue
down.
in
It's
Japan.
not standing. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost 11 meters tall. I was like, well, how big is, the second biggest? Is really big.
Yeah, the only ones bigger are the super famous ones in Kamakura and Nara.
Yeah.
This temple also has a national treasure, a Senju Kanon statue from the Heian period that was carved from a single log of Chinese black pine.
Ooh.
But you can't see it
most
of the time. They do reveal it during birthday celebrations for Kukai,
Okay.
also known as Kobo Daishi. You done with that temple, Paul?
Yes.
You want to go see another religious place?
Yes.
All right, let's head just down the street southwest a little ways, and we'll find Kushida Shrine.
Kushida Shrine dates back to 757. And this is famous as the home of the Hakata Gion Yamakasa Matsuri. And one of the main floats is on display here.
Cool.
Which is really cool.
Be fun to see that. Get a little taste of it, even if you're not there at the right time of year for the festival itself.
Yeah, those floats are always decorated so nicely. They're really cool to look at.
They are fun to look at. This shrine is dedicated to the gods Ohatanushi. Have you heard of that one, Paul?
I don't think so.
I bet you've heard of these other ones, Amaterasu and
Yes.
Susanoo.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, the main shrine building was rebuilt in 1585 with contributions from Toyotomi Hideyoshi himself.
Ooh, the prestige.
Yep.
It has the largest otafuku mask in Japan. And otafuku is the mask of the cheerful, smiling woman that you kind of see a lot in festivals and stuff in Japan.
Yeah, I buy her natto.
Okay, she got a picture on the natto.
There's a brand of natto.
There's also a fountain here where people pray for eternal youth.
Cool.
Wonder if that's worked for anybody yet. Maybe they stayed really young at heart. Maybe that's what eternal youth really means. Not becoming old and jaded and bitter.
Well, there are a lot of theories about all those really, really old people in Okinawa. Maybe they get the water from here, bring it down to Okinawa or something.
Oh, sure.
Ready for another shrine, Paul?
Yeah.
Sumiyoshi Shrine is about a half-mile south of Kushida Shrine. Now, this is 3 religious places right in a row. I wouldn't say that you need to visit all 3 of them one after the other. You might get a little templed and shrined out, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they're a little bit spread out. Like, they're all kind of close to Hakata Station, but they're not super close to each other. Like, there's not a single route that kind of makes sense to hit all 3 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say, like, maybe hit 2 of the 3. And maybe hit the 3rd one on your way back to the station or on another day or something. It just, logistically, it doesn't seem like it makes sense to do all 3 and then continue west.
Spending half your day walking between these places.
Yeah. But the Sumiyoshi Shrine is a pretty cool one. Maybe that's one of the ones you want to hit up first, you know?
Well, it is one of the 3 great Sumiyoshi shrines.
That's true. You might recognize the name, actually. You might think, wait a minute, isn't there a Sumiyoshi Shrine in Osaka? And yes, there is. There's also one in Shimonoseki. Those are the 3. This one, Osaka, and Shimonoseki. But this is actually the first one, too. The one in Fukuoka.
Yeah. The grounds look pretty picturesque. They got some torii gates. They had a little pond. It looked really peaceful and nice.
They even found a bronze spear and bronze sword here from the Yayoi period.
Wow.
And there's a theory that it may have been a sacred place even back then, around the 1st century.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
It was also the Ichinomiya of Chikuzen province since the late Heian period. Do you know what an Ichinomiya is?
No.
Just means it's the highest ranking. This was the highest ranking shrine in the province.
Okay.
Well, Paul, have you seen enough religious places?
Yeah, I'm ready for some food and entertainment, maybe some shopping.
Let's engage in unfettered capitalism, Paul.
Okay.
We're going to head a little bit west of these sacred places to Canal City, right on the Naka River. I've been here. As I mentioned, I went to the sumo tournament in Fukuoka in 2019, and I did explore the rest of the city a bit. And Paul, I got to say, this mall is one of the coolest malls I've ever been to. And we live right by the Mall of America. This place is crazy. It's called Canal City because it actually has a canal running through it. It's a mall with a canal in it.
Yeah. It looks really cool.
It's amazing.
And the canal's like open air, right?
Yes.
And then it goes up like canyon walls around the canal with all the shops and things on it, everything overlooking it.
In that sense, it reminds me a little bit of Namba Parks in Osaka, I guess.
Yeah, the kind of canyon feel.
Yeah, it's like a indoor/outdoor mall sort of thing.
Yeah.
They actually call it a city within a city. It's got shops, restaurants, cafes, a theater, games, movie theaters, 2 hotels, sculptures, fountains, not to mention the canal. Like, this place is massive.
And you can't forget about the ramen stadium.
Stadium?
Yeah, on the 5th floor, there's an area that has 8 ramen shops that have dishes from different styles of ramen across Japan,
Awesome.
including the local specialty Hakata ramen.
I love that kind of stuff. This mall is actually the largest private development in the history of Japan.
What?
Yeah. Built in the mid-1990s for $1.4 billion US dollars. It covers 2.5 million square feet.
Wow.
And then I was curious, well, how does this place compare to the Mall of America? It's actually less than half the size of the Mall of America, but I would say it's still just way more visually interesting. Like, it's just a fun place. I mean, sure, the Mall of America's got like an amusement park in the middle of it, which is pretty awesome, but...
Right, but if you're just walking around the outer rim, it just kind of looks like any other mall.
Pretty much. Yeah, this place is just cool. I had a lot of fun exploring there.
Did you see the water show in the canal?
They had a special one because I was there right before Christmas.
Oh.
So they had Santa, they had all these colored lights, they were playing songs, and the fountain stuff is crazy, man. So they have like this fountain in the canal, and it's like a really long, stretched out fountain kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they have it all like synced up with the music. Like, they do all these sound and light and water shows in the canal. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Special ones for each season or event. That's so cool.
Yeah. Actually, if you join our Patreon, there's a video on there. We did a recap video of my 2019 trip, and there's some video of that, the water display thing, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, this mall is right on the Naka River, and in the river, just to the west of it, there's an island called Nakasu. Actually, to be specific, the water on the west side of Nakasu is the Naka River. The water on the east side is called the Hakata River. I don't know why they need to have different names, because it's kind of, I don't know, it's like a big enough island and the rivers are thin enough that it sort of splits into two rivers that meet up again on the other side, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I didn't think of it as two rivers looking at the maps.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just how they named them. But Nakasu, that name of the island, actually means the island in the middle, because it's in between these two rivers, which are also kind of one river.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So the island, Nakasu, it's actually Fukuoka's red light district. It's got about 3,500 shops, restaurants, and adult entertainment establishments, which I did not visit on my trip to Fukuoka, Paul, but I did go to the Yatai that Fukuoka is famous for.
Okay. We talked about these a lot in the street food episode.
Yeah, we did. Yep. Do you want to describe what they are?
Yeah, they're these little carts, basically, that operate as food stalls. They've got about 6 or so seats right in front there, and you just sit down, get your food. Each cart specializes usually in one thing, like you're going to get yakitori, or you're going to get ramen. Maybe you get a beer or some alcohol to go with it. And it's just kind of a festive, cool atmosphere.
Yeah, I feel like the term like food cart undersells it a little bit, because it's not just like a place where you walk up and get food. They unfold an entire bar with like seating and stuff. It's just that they're temporary.
Right.
They just set them up in this long row, and you can walk down and see what food catches your eye and sit
you
down.
get a stool and a counter.
Yeah, like you actually eat there. It's not like a kind of street food place where you get your food and stand there and eat it. You actually get a seat.
In that regard, it's very unique.
Yeah.
Where else do you get that with street food?
Not many places.
The only thing I can think of is those like weird things you see on Instagram where they're like biking around a city, eating at a table or something for some experience.
That does look fun, but yeah. So yeah, they're just like little tiny bars.
This is a great place to talk to people.
Definitely.
Maybe get to meet some Japanese people. Everyone's kind of having a good time. And although a lot of the Japanese people there might be tourists too, which is totally fine.
Sure, yeah. They are pretty touristy. And you can find yatai in other parts of the city too. This might be the most popular area with like the highest number of them. So maybe it's a little more touristy than the other places. But yeah, it's just cool. You can look out at the canal. You can see Canal City from here. Very lively place. It's kind of a remnant of an older culture in Japan too, because these types of places used to be common around the country, but these days there aren't many cities where you can find them. And as I said, Fukuoka is the city that's most famous for still having a bunch of these things.
Yep. Our next destination is going to be the Tenjin Underground Mall, which is a little south or west. So I'm trying to picture in my head.
This whole path that we're taking, we're basically starting at Hakata Station and just moving west.
Okay.
And kind of just going a straight line, more or less.
This is the type of place where I'm so glad we do our city episodes, because I had no clue this place existed. And it looks so cool.
It is cool. Not as cool as Canal City, I'll say, but
true.
If you've never been to an underground mall, it's worth checking out. I mean, it's similar. There are a lot of Japanese cities that have these kinds of things. It's kind of one of those, underground shopping street sort of things that just like connects a couple train stations. That's kind of what it felt like.
Sure. I saw there were 12 avenues of shops. So I don't know if there's 12 different tunnels or whatever. Yeah. But part of what's really cool about it is it's very European inspired in its design. Like a lot of the shops look really cool. Even the design of the tunnels themselves are lit up really well and look nice.
Yeah, it does look nice. I will say, like compared to other similar places, like I said, those little kind of tunnels that connect two train stations. This one does look really nice.
Yeah.
It's got around 150 shops. To be a little more specific about the European stylings, it apparently has 19th century European-style flagstone floors and an arabesque design on the ceilings.
There we go. I don't know what arabesque means. I did see it. I don't know how I could describe it.
Can't say I really noticed those specific little details when I was there, but one thing I do really remember from this place is they had this cool water feature. There was like this staircase, and then down the middle of the staircase, they had these little like waterfalls with these cute little baby kappa statues playing in the water.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So let's get above ground and move a little further west, where we're going to get to the Fukuoka Castle ruins. This is also known as Maizuru Park, because the castle is also known as Maizuru Castle. And as we said in the history section, this castle was built at the beginning of the Edo period, and at that point was the largest castle in Kyushu, but it was torn down after the Meiji Restoration. I visited here when I was in Fukuoka, and as I said, there's not like a ton to see, but it's kind of a nice area. You got like, the foundations and the stone walls. There are a few ancillary buildings that you can still see.
Part of the canal system, I think, is still there.
Yeah, and you can kind of get up on the base where the main castle keep would have been and get a little bit of elevation so you can see like nice views of the surrounding area.
Oh, nice.
There's also a little museum there with some interesting info and artifacts from the castle or the time period that the castle was there. I think they had like a dig site, as I recall. They had some details about what they had found there.
Great place for cherry blossom viewing as well, if you're there at the right time.
Definitely. I was not. I was there in fall. But it was also a great place for the fall colors.
Okay. Well, heading further west, we're going to run into Ohori Park.
There's a ton of stuff to do here, and I thought this park was awesome, Paul.
Me too, dude. This place looks great.
It's like a park built around this pond, basically. Ohori actually means moat, because this pond was once part of the moat system for the castle.
Mm-hmm. There's a walking path that runs all the way around the pond that's just over 2 kilometers long, and you'll see lots of people jogging or walking their pets or taking a nice stroll.
Yeah, it just felt like a really nice community place, you know, where people are just enjoying being outside, and there are a few playgrounds, I think. I have it written down in here somewhere. But like just lots of families, you know, kids running around and like ice cream shops and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just a nice, pleasant place to be.
There's 3 islands in the pond, too, that are all connected with stone bridges.
Yeah, that's really cool that you can walk from one end of the pond to the other. And it's all really pretty. Like all the bridges have really cool designs. There's a Chinese-style pavilion out there in the pond. I think my favorite part of this area, well, definitely my favorite part, was they have this Japanese garden at the south end of the pond. It's a really good one. Some of my favorite pictures that I have from Japan are in this garden because it also has a big pond in the middle, and
Yeah.
it's really well laid out. But Paul, when I was researching this and looking at the reviews and pictures of the Japanese garden, I was horrified to find that I totally missed something really awesome there.
What was that?
Like every hour or every half hour or something, they emit a bunch of fog over the pond. Like it just rolls through this Japanese garden. And some of the pictures I saw with everything just bathed in fog, it looked crazy. It looked so cool.
That's so unique. I've never heard about any other garden doing that.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just shocked. I can't believe I missed that. I don't know how I didn't hear about that. I feel like they should have a huge sign at the entrance that's like, stick around for a while. We're going to have fog.
Yeah, right? Show all the times. That'd be cool.
Yeah. But so right next to the garden, there's also Fukuoka Art Museum. It's got prehistoric Buddhist art, but also modern Western and Asian art. I didn't go there, but it sounds pretty cool.
And just across the street from the park is Gokoku Shrine. There's a massive torii gate here leading up to the main building, which is really unique. It's like a lighter brown wood color with golden accents all over the building.
Sounds pretty.
Yeah. Something you don't see everywhere.
Cool. Well, yeah, this whole park area, like you could easily spend a whole day just checking out all the stuff around this park. It's got coffee shops and cafes too. As I mentioned, multiple playgrounds if you have kids and you want to let them tire themselves out while you sit on a bench or something. It's got like multiple other little parks inside the big park, kind of. There's also, Paul, did you see anything about the wild bird forest?
No?
I think this was kind of southwest at the edge of the pond. Apparently you can see a lot of cool birds there, but I also hear there's a whole lot of poop from those birds, and it gets pretty smelly in hot weather.
Okay. It's hot pretty often in Fukuoka, I think.
Yeah.
All right, did you see everything in the park, Jason?
I think I'm done with the park.
Ready to move on?
Yep. This is your favorite place, right?
At the Mizuho PayPay Dome?
Yeah. This is just a bit northwest from the park, right on the edge of Hakata Bay.
Home of the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks, NPB baseball team.
Yep. As we've mentioned on the podcast before, Paul is super into baseball, and I'm not really. But I still think that we should definitely get to a baseball game in Japan at some point.
Yeah, it's just with all the cheering and drumming and songs and stuff, it's so different. I got to experience it, right?
When is baseball season again?
Spring through fall. Playoffs are right now.
Okay. I guess we'll never get to a baseball game because I'm going to go in winter from now on.
Yeah, you're not even going in spring or fall anymore. It's not cold enough.
During soccer season, do they have baseball games?
This far south, maybe not. It's right about that time that it's going to be starting.
All right. Maybe it can be on the trip where we climb Mount Fuji, go to a baseball game, and then go straight to Hokkaido for the rest of the trip.
Sounds good.
Cool off. Okay. Anyway, this Mizuho PayPay Dome, it was actually the first stadium in Japan to be built with a retractable roof. It's prepared for all kinds of weather.
That's cool.
They also have concerts there. The reviews are great. It sounds like a really fun place to see a game.
It's good to have a good stadium. It's a shame to spend that much money and build something that big to have it like uncomfortable and nobody likes it, which does happen sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Paul, we're already on the edge of the bay. You want to walk a little bit west to see Momochi Seaside Park.
Yeah.
This is a futuristic waterfront with beaches, parks, museums, shopping, and dining.
Yeah, the area was developed for the 1989 Asia Pacific Expo. So it's a really modern, futuristic thinking idea of what a city should look like and be.
It looks pretty cool. And if you're interested in the local history, you can check out the Fukuoka City Museum here. But what looked most interesting to me, Paul, is Marizone.
What are you talking about?
Did you see it like on the map? There's a little pier sticking out into the bay, right?
Oh, is that the little man-made island or peninsula?
That's
that
what they call it. There's
whatever?
a shopping complex at the end of the pier.
Yeah.
And it makes me think Spain. It looks like a Spanish, like a town square sort of thing.
Villages?
You know what I mean? Or like a villa, like a little villa almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
That's like sticking out into the water, and then all along the water, you got a really nice beach area. Great place to go to relax and get some sun and enjoy that great weather.
Yeah. Right on the south edge of Momochi Seaside Park is Fukuoka Tower, the tallest seaside tower in Japan.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The tower has over 8,000 mirrors on it for a very striking appearance.
Mirrors?
Maybe it's like mirrored glass or polished glass or something, but it kind of like reflects the sky and everything around it.
Cool.
And there's an observation deck here that's 123 meters above the city floor with some great views over the ocean and the city.
That's about 400 feet, by the way.
That's pretty high.
And it's not the only observation deck. They have 3 observation decks.
Ooh.
That's just the highest one. But the most interesting thing I saw about this tower is that its underground weight is 25,000 tons. And its above ground weight is only 3,500 tons.
Wow. They must have a lot of
Isn't that
ballast
crazy?
down there.
It was built that way so it could withstand magnitude 7 earthquakes and wind speeds up to 145 miles an hour, which is 233 kilometers per hour. But that's like a bigger earthquake and higher wind speeds than have ever been recorded in that area. So basically, this tower is invincible.
That sounds smart.
Yep.
But imagine having to build a skyscraper and it's like, oh yeah, we get earthquakes and hurricanes here. It's got to be able to withstand both.
So they think, okay, let's build it like a toothpick with like a metal weight on the bottom that the toothpick is jammed into, and then it'll never fall over.
Remember those storms that sunk the Mongol fleet twice and killed them all? Yeah, the skyscraper needs to be able to handle that.
Yeah, pretty much. Paul, do you think you have it in you to see yet another seaside park?
Oh, I definitely do.
Well, let's go to Uminonakamichi Seaside Park. Fukuoka has 2 of them, 2 seaside parks.
And the great thing is that this is right across the bay, so you can take a ferry from Momochi Seaside Park straight to Uminonakamichi Seaside Park.
That's right.
So you go seaside park to seaside park.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good way to spend a day. Like both of these seaside parks have a lot of stuff in them. You know, it'd take a lot of time. I bet you could fill up a day with the 2 of these.
Yeah, definitely.
So Uminonakamichi, it sticks out into the bay from the east. So like technically you could get there by land, but the ferry is just so quick. It's just right out there. Why not pop out there on the ferry?
Yes.
And Uminonakamichi is massive. There's tons of stuff to do there. The place is huge. I thought what was maybe the coolest thing was the flower gardens. Did you see all those pictures?
Yes, it looks amazing. There's all these flower gardens with millions of flowers of all sorts of different types so that they're blooming for a huge part of the year. From March all the way to, I think, around September, you're going to find a field of flowers blooming somewhere in this park.
But the types of flowers are kind of segregated. Like it's not like they're all mixed together. It's like if you see a field of flowers, they're all the same kind of flower.
Yes.
Just like stretching out as far as the eye can see.
Yep.
It's crazy. Also, one of the best spots in the city for cherry blossoms.
Yep.
They also have a bunch of cycling and walking paths, playgrounds, sports fields. There's a water park, a zoo, picnic areas. Like I said, plenty to fill up a day.
Yeah, the park's 4 kilometers long. So cycling might be a good idea. There's rental bicycles. I think I saw at every entrance.
Nice.
And there's also a bus that kind of goes between the main spots as well.
Cool.
So you don't have to walk up and down, back and forth, kilometers long.
Look at that. It's a park big enough that you need a bus to get around it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You don't see that too often.
Yeah. There's also an aquarium there called Marine World that focuses on local sea life. They have over 120 sharks of 20 different species.
It's a lot of sharks.
Yep. You can also see dolphin and sea lion shows and even feed them.
Sorry, just having flashback memories. I'm pretty sure I fed a dolphin at SeaWorld in Orlando when I was a kid. I was like, trying to remember that.
What'd you feed it?
I think just little fishes.
I
was really little, though. I don't have clear memories.
I had a flashback to when I went to, I think it was called Blizzard Beach, Disney water park.
Blizzard Beach?
I think so. Yeah, the
interesting
theme was
name.
like, there's icicles everywhere and stuff.
Okay. Sounds like a Mario Kart track.
Yeah, it kind of does. But what I remember is they had like this pool with sharks in there, and you could like get a snorkel and a mask, swim across the top of it and look down at the sharks. But what they tell you is like, don't splash too much or you'll get the attention of the sharks, you know?
Yeah.
And so
You look like a floundering seal.
yeah, and I'd never used a snorkel before. So I get in this thing, I stick my face in the water, and somehow like the angle of the snorkel is wrong and it's dipping into the water and I'm like taking in salt water. So I'm like and then I have to like pull my head up and start treading water and kicking my feet and I'm like, "Oh no, the sharks are going to come bite my legs off."
Oh, that's good. I wish I was there. Oh, man.
Why, so you could save me? Like
No,
like a
I would
hero?
have been laughing. Are you kidding me?
That's horrible, Paul. I could have died.
If the shark actually attacked.
What if the water turned all red? Then would you be laughing?
No, then I'd save you.
Okay.
Or try.
Would you?
Yeah. If shark attacked you, I'd jump in and try to save you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right. You redeemed yourself.
You only get so many good friends like you,
Oh.
and it's a little dangerous, but like, if I get a chance to punch a shark in the nose, it's kind of a cool story,
That would be a cool story. And yeah, I mean, its mouth is already busy with my legs. Punching it in the nose seems like no big deal, right?
Ah, get off him.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've seen the city, Jason. Did you have anything else?
That's the main stuff.
All right, well, there's only one huge thing left to do then.
What's that?
Eat.
Oh, man. For the last few days, exploring all these places, we totally forgot to eat, didn't we?
We took all those pictures of the Yatai, but we never sat down.
Oh, man. Well, now that I think about it, I'm super freaking hungry. What are we going to eat?
I mean, you can't go wrong with Hakata ramen, can ya?
No, you can't. That's one of my favorite Japanese foods, honestly. Hakata ramen, also known as tonkotsu ramen. And I want to take a second here to point out, don't confuse tonkotsu ramen with tonkatsu. Those are two very different things. Tonkatsu is a breaded, deep-fried pork cutlet, but tonkotsu, as in tonkotsu ramen, that means pork bones, because tonkotsu ramen has a pork bone broth. They boil the bones for a really long time, and it all kind of dissolves into the broth, and it's just really, really good.
They tend to use thin noodles, and the broth gets thick and creamy, doesn't it?
That's what I love about it, yeah. Usually topped with chashu, which is like thinly sliced braised pork belly, basically. And it's called Hakata ramen, of course, because it was invented in Fukuoka Prefecture. Although, Paul, I was curious. I dug a little bit deep into this, and Hakata ramen was not actually invented in Hakata.
What?
Yeah. Supposedly, it was actually invented in Kurume, which is a ways south of the city of Fukuoka.
But no one knew what that was, so they couldn't name it.
I guess.
Kurume ramen. People were like, huh?
They
What?
named it after the more famous place, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was invented in 1937 by Tokio Miyamoto, who actually ran a yatai in Kurume.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I read something how he accidentally left the broth boiling for too long, and he was like, wait a minute, this makes it super delicious.
That's cool.
Yeah. So there are tons of Hakata ramen shops around the city, and I highly recommend checking at least one out. You may be familiar with this famous national chain called Ichiran. They exclusively sell tonkotsu ramen, and that chain actually started out in Fukuoka. But if you're in Fukuoka, I would encourage you, of course, to try something different. I mean, if you've never had Ichiran, maybe you try that, but then also try a little local ramen place and see how that compares. Because Ichiran is kind of mass-produced and stuff. It's like the fast
you can
food
get
of ramen.
it anywhere in Japan.
Yeah. But I say, I mean, if you're into that type of ramen, just try as many of these different places in Fukuoka as you can and see which one you like best. Honestly, I tried a few of these, and one of them that was supposed to be one of the higher rated ones, I wasn't super impressed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we've all got our own tastes.
Yeah.
Ramen's one of those things that I probably could eat just about every day.
Yeah. Oh, man. I ate so much ramen last trip, and I'm sure I will again. It's kind of a great winter food, too, because it warms you up.
I feel like we were on the last trip and I'd seen you eat ramen 3 times and you were like, man, I just haven't got enough ramen this trip yet.
I made a post on Instagram a while ago of just 10 bowls of ramen that I had last trip.
So you caught up.
Yeah.
What else are you going to eat, Jason?
Well, another Fukuoka specialty is Mentaiko.
Now, what's that?
It's spicy cod roe. So they take the ovary sacs of cod and then they pickle them in salt and chili peppers. And this can be eaten in various ways. You can have it with rice. You actually see it fairly often in pasta.
Okay.
Little eggs break apart into the pasta sauce. You can also find this at those Yatai. The place I actually had this in Fukuoka was at the sumo tournament. Because
Okay.
at lunch, you could go outside and they had all these food trucks and stuff. And I got to try chanko nabe.
Nice.
Remember, that's the type of hot pot that the sumo wrestlers
sumos,
eat
yeah.
all the time. And they had this variety of chanko nabe with what they called mentai mochi, which was mentaiko inside a ball of mochi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was good.
That's, yeah, man. I'm like, fish eggs. I'm like, okay, that's already like a little bit out there for me. Then we're pickling them. That's got to be a strong flavor, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean bad,
No, not at all.
Okay.
It was good. I think I've also had that in a bento box or something too.
Well, speaking of nabe, I thought the Motsunabe was kind of cool. It's a local hot pot dish made up of beef or pork tripe, which is the stomach.
Had you ever had tripe before?
I don't think I ever have.
My wife and I go get pho a lot, and she likes tripe in there. I'm not a huge fan. I don't like the texture of it.
A little chewy.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's like chewy and crunchy at the same time.
Yeah, I didn't start eating pho until I was vegan already, so didn't get the chance. But they also mix in cabbage, garlic, and chives and peppers. It's usually a soy or miso-based soup. Very inexpensive, hearty meal that you can grab, often served with rice.
Yeah, and nabe is hot pot that's popular all over the country. But what makes the Fukuoka variety special, what makes it Motsunabe, is that tripe, or it actually could be another type of offal too. You know that word offal?
Yeah, I've heard that. That's like not normally eaten meat, I guess
Yeah,
is kind of what I like to
basically.
associate that with.
It's like the other parts of the animal.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd even seen that word until I started going to Japan. In Japan, they call it horumon, I think. But yeah, it's not awful like AWFUL. I mean, some people might think it is awful,
Yeah.
but it's spelled OFFAL, awful.
Oh, I don't think I knew it was spelled like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You thought it was just awful, like
I was thinking like AF, maybe.
how would the rest of it go?
AFUL. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
My brain tries to put two words together. Awful. AFULL.
Sure. That makes sense. I got one more local specialty for you, Paul. They have something called Mizutaki, which is actually another form of nabe. Why is nabe so popular in Fukuoka where it's all warm all the time? I think of nabe as like a cold weather thing, you know?
Yeah, that is interesting.
But Mizutaki is a local form of nabe made with chicken. It's got a cloudy chicken-based broth.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just made me think, why is chili popular in Texas?
Because it's chili peppers, not chili cold.
I suppose,
Is that
but
what
I
you-
like to make it when it's cold.
Oh, I see. I thought you were play on words because it's not chili in Texas.
Oh, okay. I'm not that smart. Sorry, but thank you for thinking I was that clever.
Well, okay, here's a thing. I remember hearing that like really spicy food is popular in Japan in summer because it makes you sweat a lot and that cools you down.
Yeah, okay. They don't have a lot of AC everywhere.
Yeah.
Got to cool off somehow.
Well, and maybe if you get super hot from the peppers, then you go outside and it's like comparatively, it doesn't feel so hot outside anymore. The peppers were way worse.
Maybe we should try that. Next summer when it gets hot, we should run an experiment.
I mean, I'll eat spicy food anytime. Oh, dude, actually, my wife and I started making this sauce recently. It's a Hmong thing. Yeah, there's a lot of Asian countries that have their own versions of this, but it's super, super good. And there is a non-vegan ingredient, but I'm sure we could find a substitute.
Sweet.
But it's amazing. We've been making it every week, and we eat it with everything. Should I share the recipe? I feel like now that I've teased it, I have to just share the recipe.
I think so.
All right, here you go, guys. Make this and put it on any kind of meat. It'll blow your mind. What you need is 10 Thai chili peppers, 6 cloves of garlic, maybe like a teaspoon of MSG, about 1.5 limes worth of lime juice, some fish sauce, that's the non-vegan ingredient, and then a whole bunch, like literally a bunch of cilantro. And you just like blend that all together. It's amazing.
Sounds pretty tasty.
It's so flavorful. Oh man, it's crazy. It's so, so good.
Okay. So there's also a couple notable special events held in Fukuoka every year.
Well, we already mentioned the Hakata Gion Yamakasa.
Yeah, you kind of went into the cool history of how that started with the pulling the float around the city, disinfecting everybody.
Yeah, like it directly ties into its origin story. Well, let me back up just slightly. So this happens every July. It's 2 weeks long. It's Fukuoka's oldest festival, going back over 700 years. And as I mentioned in the history section, there's that monk Eni. He saved Hakata from a plague by being carried around on this platform while praying and throwing holy water. So they basically reenact that at this festival.
Yeah. On the 15th of July, they have the final race, which is the culmination of the whole festival. Each neighborhood has its own float that, starting at sunrise, they drag through a 5-kilometer course through the city in a race.
Well, it's not they drag, they like carry them.
Yeah,
on
they
their
have
shoulders.
no wheels. They have no wheels. I saw somewhere they're saying they throw water down to like help with friction, but I was like, aren't they carrying it most of the time?
I saw a video. It's there. So okay. Here's how it works. So each float weighs over a ton and needs to be carried by like 30 people, but it's so heavy that even those 30 people can't carry it for very long. So they have them like they have a bunch of people around the float that are constantly switching in and out. So I saw a video, and there are people like squirting water all over and stuff. I guess I'm not sure if it's the spectators or if it's the ones that are not carrying the float at any given moment.
It's going to cool you off if you're carrying this float around in July.
Yeah. But it looks super fun.
And as huge as those floats are, they're a smaller version because when power lines started going up in the city, the old floats were too big and they couldn't get them through the city anymore.
Wow.
But those ones are still around. There's like one at Canal City. They kind of put them all over the city so you can see these old floats. And then they have the current ones they're using to actually run the race.
Cool. Yeah, you said it's a race. Like they're moving fast with these things. I guess, they're reenacting saving the city from the plague. So they want to get rid of the plague as fast as possible.
Yeah, they're going all out.
Yeah. And everybody's wearing loincloths, which is fun.
Yeah.
Nobody has pants on.
Makes it feel very festy, Oh, we got some butt cheeks out. Very Matsuri.
Yeah.
I think the other major event that we also mentioned earlier is that one of the grand sumo tournaments is held in Fukuoka every year. It's actually the final tournament of the year. It takes place in November in Fukuoka every year. So great reason to go to Fukuoka. There's only 6 of these tournaments a year in all of Japan. So if you get a chance to go to one, take it.
Absolutely. I had so much fun. I know I talked about it a bit we did like a recap episode of my 2019 trip. There's also some video, like I said, on Patreon, but it's like a whole day thing. And you don't have to stay for the whole day. They start with the lower divisions and then it kind of gets...
Yeah, it sounded like a lot of people showed up later in the day to see the top sumos.
Yeah, a lot of people don't show up until afternoon even, but I was there from when they opened, because at the very beginning of the day, even if you have like bad tickets up in the nosebleeds, they let you sit down at the front because there's nobody around, so you can get some really cool pictures, and I just thought it was super fun, watching them. So like I watched, I took a bunch of photos and video, and then I went out to the food truck for lunch, like I said. I got a bento box to bring back to my seat, stuck around for the very top sumo wrestlers in the evening, and it was just awesome.
Yeah, your videos were really cool.
And I was there all by myself. If you had a partner, I bet it would even be more fun. I actually remember I met this really nice Australian woman that was sitting next to me, and she didn't know anything about sumo. And since we did our sumo episode not long before that, I was like telling her how everything worked and stuff.
You're so nice.
It was fun.
He's a friendly guy.
When I'm on vacation and I haven't spoken to anyone in English in several days.
You try to talk to Jason on his lunch break, different story.
Yeah, exactly. Another event you could attend in Fukuoka is the Hakata Dontaku. Did you read about that one?
No, what's this one?
So this happens during Golden Week, actually, on May 3rd and 4th. It goes back over 800 years and is actually one of the most famous and biggest festivals in the country, drawing an audience of over 2 million people over 2 days.
Wow.
Just 2 days. I think it's the biggest one, the most attended festival of Golden Week.
Wow.
Yeah.
In all of Japan?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They put up like 30 stages all over downtown Hakata, and they have traditional performances. There's a parade. They have these buses covered in flowers. It's all televised. It's like the Parade of Roses or something,
Okay.
you know?
That's cool.
Yeah. Looks super fun. I also want to mention, if you want to learn more about Japanese matsuri or festivals in general, we did a whole episode about that, episode 22.
One more thing to note is that I think Fukuoka would make a really nice home base type of area if you want to explore Kyushu, being right on the Shinkansen line. Specifically, both Kitakyushu and Kumamoto are within an hour on the Shinkansen. So that's some really interesting side trip possibilities for you as well.
Speaking of travel, should we talk about how to get to and around Fukuoka?
Yeah. It's only, I saw about 5 to 6 hours by Shinkansen from Tokyo, maybe depending on which train you're taking.
Yeah, it's 5 hours on the fastest train.
Yeah.
You could also fly if you want to save a little time. And depending on the deal you get, it could actually be cheaper than the Shinkansen, but usually not.
One note on this is that I was amazed by this. Fukuoka Airport is the most accessible airport in Japan. It's a 5-minute train ride from Hakata Station. So you get off your plane and get out of the airport, you're basically downtown already.
It's pretty convenient.
That's nice.
I flew into that airport from Okinawa, actually.
Okay.
And I have no recollection of it. So it must have been really smooth and easy.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about that airport. I just remember landing and I'm just like, oh, I'm in Fukuoka now. No big deal.
Nice.
Yep.
It's good when it goes seamlessly like that.
Yeah.
Getting around the city today, Fukuoka has 3 subway lines and a bus network as well. They do sell one-day passes for the subway. So if you're running around town, that could be worth it for you.
It's 640 yen.
And sold at vending machines in the subway stations.
Nice. Don't even need to talk to anybody, huh? They also have a Fukuoka Tourist City Pass that's a one-day pass that includes all trains and buses and gives you discounts to some local sites.
Okay.
But that one is 2,500 yen, which is pretty steep for a one-day thing, unless you use like every single discount in there. So
I wrote in my notes, there's a couple other passes available, but they don't seem like good deals to me.
Okay.
I'm trying to how to make this work, and it just didn't seem to make sense.
Was the other one the Fukuoka Wide Pass for 3,500 yen?
Must have been.
Probably. That one's valid for 2 days and gives you access to all JR trains around the whole prefecture.
Okay, so that maybe could make sense.
Yeah. Even into some neighboring prefectures, actually. It's a pretty wide area. So if you're taking a bunch of day trips and moving around a bunch in 2 days, it might be worth it. But it still seems like it'd be kind of tough.
Yeah.
Is that it, Paul?
That's all I got.
That's Fukuoka. So where is this now on your list of top cities you want to visit?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I mean, like always, after doing one of these episodes, I want to go to Fukuoka, right? Pretty high, because I've been to so many places now. But I'd say Nagasaki's pretty high, too. And they're so close that
right.
I'm like, those two together are pretty high up on my list, I think.
Yeah. Well, even though I spent a couple days in Fukuoka, I would totally go back. And I'm thinking, yeah, we spend a couple days there on the way to Nagasaki, maybe on the Shinkansen.
Yeah, that could be nice.
Yeah. Well, before we go, we should thank our Shogun level patrons, Georgette and Caitlin Seymour, Kelly Ardong, Kevin Phillips, Pamela Arola, Jack Brady K, Yasmin, Kevin Harris. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
We also have 2 emperors at the moment, Eric and John W. Thank you guys so much as well.
Thank you very much. But I got to ask, Jason.
Yeah.
How can there be 2 emperors? Do we have a split court? We have a north and a south court
Yeah,
here?
I guess. Just like that one
There's
short
precedent,
period.
right?
Yeah, it's not the first time. But we're not picking sides.
No, definitely not. We played the middle. That's just the type of character we have, Jason.
Yeah. We don't get involved in politics.
Yeah, thank you very much to all our patrons. Feel free to go check it out. There is early access to all of our episodes if you're dying to listen to the next one.
For as little as $2 a month.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's not a bad deal.
And you also get access to all of these exclusive episodes we did. There's a Q&A. There's a bunch of exclusive folktale episodes. There's the hentai episode, of course, if you're interested in that.
Yeah, some cool videos, stuff we've dabbled in a little bit up there.
That's for the higher tiers, though.
Okay, well, it's still available.
Well, anyway, Paul, what's up next time?
Our next episode is about souvenirs.
Cool. This is my idea.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think it'll be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah, it should be good.
Give you some ideas for things to bring back for your loved ones or for yourself. I always bring stuff back for myself. I don't care about any of those other people.
Whoa, oh, hey. Remember, you're supposed to pretend to be a cool guy on the podcast, Jason?
Oh, crap. Sorry. I let my true self sneak through right there. Well, but Paul, you're already with me in Japan, so I don't need to buy you anything.
Absolutely. I wouldn't ask you for anything. I'm trying to remember what I brought back. Like, I brought back like a couple magnets for my family, maybe, or something.
I bring back a bunch of snacks from Japan for myself, and then I open a box and hand one little piece of chocolate to each person. Here you go. This is what you get from Japan. I'm just kidding. Sort of.
Well, we'll talk all about it next time.
Yep, we will. Well, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.